A very good evening, everyone. So we'll be starting off with the business session today. And the first update is that we'll be having our club contest on 28th Feb. I know I'm announcing this for the third time. And I've still, we have got only one name for the registration for the speech contest and the evaluation contest. So I request everyone to please give your names before 18th of Feb to Toastmaster Sanjana. And the second is the VP update. I request Toastmaster Sanjana to bring up.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. The speech slots for next week meetings are open. And one speech slot has been taken up by Toastmaster Sai Snehal, and the MC slot has been booked by Toastmaster DTM Udanka. So I request the interested members to contact me for GE or table topic master role. Thank you, and back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. Sergeant, you can take it.
A very good evening, everyone. There are a plethora of situations in our life. For every situation, there are two responses. One is fight or flight. We've often heard people advising us just fight, face the situation. But I feel for every situation, that is not the solution. Sometimes we stay away from the problem. I feel that will solve a lot of things. A few months ago, I was this person who used to get panic attacks for the smallest of the things. To write some unit test of 10 marks, I used to get panic attack. Maybe during COVID, I used to talk to one or two friends or some family members, which made after COVID difficult for me to socialize. So what my therapist told me to do is do what you don't like to do first. Fight and flight responses are experienced by all of us when we are crossing the road. Flight, if we just want to run, and fight response, that is when the vehicle is coming. Like how humans have two responses, that is fight and flight, exactly like that, gadgets also have some mode, that is flight mode, silent mode, or switch off mode. So I request everyone to put their phones on silent mode, and I will be giving 5 seconds to do so. Whenever we tell flight, the first thing we can think of is travel. There's one person in this room who loves to travel, is a BCom graduate and is currently working in PwC. He has this amazing talent of recording or journaling the joke, which is apparently funny. So please help me welcome the President, Toastmaster Gaurav.
People are wondering, we just have a small, inter-competition, who will roast better. So, just don't mind it. Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya, for that wonderful introduction. A very good evening to all the Toastmasters. I don't see any guests today. So, we'll be jumping off with the minutes of the meeting of 1198. I request Toastmaster Pavni to read out the MO.
Good evening, everyone. Here are the minutes of meeting number 1198 held on 30th of January 2023. Theme: Expectation versus Reality. Word of the week: pristine. The business session started at 6:22 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Gaurav. In the business session, the following points were addressed. President Toastmaster Gaurav announced the club contest will be held on 20th February. The contests are the International Speech Contest and the Evaluation Contest. The eligibility for the International Speech Contest is that a member should have completed level 2 in pathways. Interested members were requested to contact Vice President Education Toastmaster Sanjana for the same before 18th of February 2023. On behalf of Vice President Education Toastmaster Sanjana, President Toastmaster Gaurav mentioned that except for one speech slot, all the remaining roles were open for the next meeting. Interested members were requested to contact her for the same. The regular meeting started at 6:23 p.m. Associate Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Lakshmi started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to the President Toastmaster Gaurav. President Toastmaster Gaurav opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Sharani. Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Sharani spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Mamta, Accounter Toastmaster Raja, Grammarian Toastmaster Raghunandana, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Prashant. The prepared speech session had the following speeches. DTM Sushma attempting level 2 project 3 evaluated by DTM MU Bhatt. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Suprabha attempting level 1 project 2 evaluated by Toastmaster Sai Ganesh. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Ajay attempting level 1 project 2 evaluated by Toastmaster Shiva. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Pavni and had 10 speakers in total. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Zulekha. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speakers, Toastmaster Ajay and Toastmaster Suprabha, Best Evaluator, Toastmaster Shiva Prasad, Best Table Topic Speakers, Toastmaster Balaji, Best Role Taker Tapji, Toastmaster Raja, Best Role Taker MTG, Toastmaster Sharani. The President closed the meeting at 8:20 p.m. which was followed by the National Anthem. Thank you and back.
Is there any changes in the M1 of 1198? If not, I open meeting number 1199. Once again, a very good evening to fellow Toastmasters. As the sergeant told that, in our life, majority of the time we'll be in a situation where we can fight or we can just run away from a situation. From my childhood, I like to try new things. Okay? I have tried skating, which I'm not a very big fan of. I've tried so many adventurous sports like paragliding. I was very scared of heights, but I somehow chose to fight with that fear and I did paragliding and I'm not scared of heights anymore. At one point I was scared of dogs as well because I realized it's my stupidity to pull the dog's tail, so it bit me. When I realized it was my mistake, I started liking dogs and currently I own 2 dogs as well. So there have been some or other situation where I fought with the situation, I've learned how to deal with it. But this is one situation which I've tried many times but I'm never able to fight it. My fear towards insects. From my childhood, I don't know, I have a phobia for insects. Let it be the smallest of insect, that doesn't mean ant, but even I'm scared of butterflies. Many say butterfly is a very beautiful insect, but for me it's a very creepy insect. And majority of the time, as we are in Bangalore, the one insect that you find in your house is cockroaches. They are most disgusting creatures in this world. And when I'm so scared of insects, like if I find a cockroach in my room, I won't enter that room for 1 week. I won't even try sleeping in that room for 1 week, I'll sleep in the hall instead. I've tried many things. With the help of my friends, that made me do several tasks to get rid of this fear of cockroaches and different kinds of insects. For example, when I was in Kyiv, my friend told me to pick a dead cockroach. It was dead, but still I was scared to touch it. So what my friend did, she just picked it up, she just kept it on my hand. The entire day I was shivering. So many people tried calming me down, saying that it's fine, just a dead insect, but still, that picture that the cockroach was on my hand, I couldn't forget it. Once I went back home, I had to scrub that hand for 5 minutes. I could see the rashes on my hand, like that I scrubbed. Still, I was scared of that creepy insect. I'd like to share one incident. When I was in school, when I was in high school, it was my dad's birthday, and he's a little bit of an adventurous guy. So he told, let's celebrate my birthday in middle of the forest. So he took us to Yana Caves. Yana. So the place where we stayed, it was in middle of the forest, very creepy. You won't even get network over there, only BSNL. And we being all Airtel and Idea fans, we didn't have BSNL network. So we reached the place at 10 o'clock in the morning, not in the morning, at night. So there 10 o'clock is like 1 o'clock. I was very scared. He's like, we'll be waiting in the dining hall. You just go keep the luggage in the room and join us for dinner. I'm like, okay, fine. I picked up the bags, everything. I just opened the room door. I can see a big spider, which is half of my palm. Looking at it crawling, I threw the bags. I just ran to my dad. I'm like, you be how much adventurous you are. I am not sleeping in that room. No ways I'm sleeping. I'm not even stepping inside that room. He's like, come, let's check. What did you see? We opened the room door again. I cannot see that spider again. But still, that picture is in my head that there is a spider in this room. So the entire night I didn't sleep in that room. I slept in the car. Even though I was sleeping in the car, I was still dreaming that, you know, if I close my eyes, I should get that spider in my head. So I couldn't sleep the entire night as well. So I've done so many things. My friend told, kill the cockroach with a lot of anger, you'll get rid of this fear. I've tried many things, but still, never. If I see a cockroach, even that toy cockroach, I'll shout like a 2-year-old kid. So let's see. Maybe in future I'll somehow get a solution how to get rid of this fear. If just not cockroaches, even butterfly creep me out. So with this, I like to introduce the very special person, and let's see what she's got through, how she got through from her fears and how she fought with the fears. So she is a technology professional and she designs and develops software systems. She is an electronic engineer and has a MS in computer science. She is currently she's on an entrepreneurship journey, and she enjoys reading, listening to music, and she looks forward to Toastmasters meeting every Mondays. So with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that lovely introduction. I do have a solution for your fear of cockroaches. I don't know if you will take it. We as biology students had to dissect cockroaches in PUC. Any fear you have will go right out the door once you've done it. So if ever you want to try it. So I'm sure you've all seen this on the Discovery Channel, right? A herd of deer peacefully grazing in the African savanna. They're all at peace grazing. In the far distance, in the tall grass, they hear a small rustle. Immediately, all the deer face up, looking at each other. Their tiny tails become completely straight. So they sense some danger. Now, a plethora of processes are happening in their body. Adrenaline, cortisol, the hormones are released, and their heart rate increases, their blood pressure rises, a lot of blood being pumped to their legs. Their bodies are now poised, ready to respond. So they're all looking at each other. Next, in the far distance, again in the tall grass, the hidden tiger makes one move. Immediately, all the deer are off, running for their lives. Flight or fight response is what we call it. Here, the response is flight, and correctly so. You know why? Because the deer have now survived to graze another day. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I see no guests here. So I thank you all for fighting the obstacles that you may have during your day and showing up here. As your MC this evening, I am happy to host this session. Now let's picture a completely different scenario, right? We are in a fine restaurant. It's evening time. The ambience is just perfect. Soft music is playing. There is a young man, let's call him Aman. He is on a special date with Arya, let's call the young woman Arya, who he thinks is the love of his life. He wants to propose to her that day. So they are sitting across the table from each other. He already has sweaty palms. So he's trying to talk to her. He wants to say something to impress her, but all the wrong things are coming out of his mind. In his head, he's kicking himself. Again, the same plethora of processes are happening. Adrenaline, cortisol are released. His heart, you can imagine, is probably beating fast. His blood pressure, if you could measure it, is going to be, quite high. All the blood rushing to his head because his head is doing the thinking. So now, but what is he doing? He is still sitting there. He's still trying to impress her. He's trying to fight it out. Here the response is fight. And we hope rightly so, because we are all Aman's friends. We wish him all the best with his courtship. So let's leave them there and let's move on. So the flight or fight response has been an important survival mechanism for humans and for animals for centuries now. It allows them to respond quickly and effectively to what the body perceives as a dangerous situation. So what happens when we face a challenging situation? Our bodies release a hormone called adrenaline. Adrenaline helps our body act quickly. Now, this adrenaline rush can either help us perform at our best, or it can cause a temporary paralysis and we blank out. I'm sure this temporary paralysis has happened to some of us, if not most of us, at different situations in life, right? A medical crisis, a life-changing event, a job interview, or a challenging personal situation. Even public speaking can all bring this fight or flight response in us. In fact, the fear of public speaking is rated so high, it is higher than the fear of death, apparently, and the fear of heights. I'm not saying this, but the National Institute of Mental Health ranks the fear of public speaking so high. They estimate that 40% of the population suffers from this anxiety. There is even a term for it. It is called glossophobia. So, the underlying reason apparently for this is that the fear of negative assessment by others causes this fear of public speaking. Now, it is very important to understand that this fight or flight response in our bodies is a physiological response to what the body thinks is a challenging situation, right? So, it is a very normal thing. It is nothing to be afraid of or even ashamed of. In fact, we should learn how to harness this to our advantage. The more we train our mind, the better our decision making in these situations, right? So one person who also believed that we could train ourselves in public speaking was a person by the name of Ralph C. Smedley. So he came up with a platform where people could learn and practice their public speaking skills. He called it Toastmasters. He founded it in the year 1925 in Santa Ana, California. That club, which started at the YMCA with just a few members, now has grown to 300,000 plus members in over 149 countries and has over 15,800 clubs. Our very own Mekon Communication was founded in 1998. Now we have no guests here, but we do have a new Toastmaster. So for his benefit, every Toastmasters meeting consists typically of 3 sessions. The prepared speech session, where the speakers are given time to prepare their speech on a topic of their choice within the guidelines of the manual. Then we have what is called a table topics session, where the table topics master chooses the topic and calls out a speaker at random for them to speak on the topic impromptu. After this, there is a short networking break of 10 minutes. Then we have an evaluation session where the speeches and the proceedings of the meeting are evaluated and feedback is provided. In order to help me conduct today's meeting smoothly, I have a team of Toastmasters. As I call your name, I request you to please come up here and explain your role today. The PP evaluator today is Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Good evening, Toastmasters. As the PP Good evening, Toastmasters and welcome guests. As a PP evaluator, I request all the members not to speak sex, religion and politics, and keep your mobiles in a silent mode. And third one is, whenever a speaker is speaking here, kindly give attention to the speaker, not to the mobile. Okay. Entry and exit to be done during applause only. I'll give my entire report during the evaluation session. Thank you, and back to you, MC Already.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. The R counter today is Toastmaster Sai Priya.
Hello, Mekonians. A very good evening, dear Toastmasters. My role is to make note of the words and phrases used by the speaker in his speeches repeatedly and as crutch or filler sounds such as and, well, but, so and you know. I would also make a note of the number of times the phrases and words are used by the speaker in their speeches. And at the end of the session, when called upon by the general evaluator, I shall give my report. Thank you, and back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Priya. Our grammarian today is Toastmaster Ritik.
Hello all, good evening. So I'm taking the role of a grammarian, and as a grammarian, my role will be to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their usage of language and take a note of good usage and not so good usage of words and sentences. And the word of the day today is plethora, and the meaning is a large or excess amount of something. And an example of that is there is a plethora of books, as in a lot of it, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik. Our timer today is Toastmaster Pavani.
A very happy evening, everyone. The best way to avoid the tendency of a fight or flight response from your side is when you can manage the time very well, and stick to the time allotted. As a timer for today, I'll be taking note of the time taken by each and every speaker behind the lectern. Firstly, for the prepared speech session, the time allotted for all the speakers is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will be raising the green card, and at 6 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. Coming to the table topic session, the speakers are allotted 1 to 2 minutes. I'll be raising the green card at 1 minute. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. Lastly, in the evaluation session, the individual evaluators are allotted 2 to 3 minutes, where I will raise the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. I'll be giving my report at the general evaluation session. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. Thank you all for your support. So let's begin with the first session, the prepared speech session. I'm not sure if you're a guest. Are you a guest?
Yes. A very good evening to everyone. My name is Kanchan. I was a member of Toastmaster, so planning to join again. That's me.
Welcome. Before I introduce the first speaker, I request the evaluator, Toastmaster Prashant, to read out the guidelines of the project.
Thank you, Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The speaker is attempting Level 1 Project 2. The title is Seasons of Life. The objective for the speaker is to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informal, or style of member, whatever they choose. The emphasis is more on the body language and vocal variety. I wish speaker all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prashant. Our first speaker today is a mom who believes in living life to the fullest and enjoying it. Her dream is to travel and experience every inch of what she calls Hamara Bharat. An engineer by education, she is currently choosing to be a happy homemaker. With her speech titled Seasons of Life, please welcome Toastmaster Mamta with a big round of applause.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and all the members who are present here. Today is a seasons of life. Everyone of us know what are the seasons of climate. Can anybody guess what are the seasons of life? Any guesses? No, that is seasons of climate. What are seasons of life? Some here and there were true. So that's the seasons of life is nothing but the childhood, then next the teenage, next is the adulthood, and next is the old age. So the first one is the childhood. childhood is the most memorable and most complex, and what every bit, whether we are in a right, what we are doing is right or what we are doing is wrong, it doesn't matter. Everything, if he breaks, hey, see, my son has reached that, my daughter has reached that object, she has broken, let us capture in the camera. Okay, and if we cross the, what is that you call, the door, then there will be some rituals which is celebrated. There also you will have to capture the photo and you will share in social media everywhere. The next stage is the toddler stage, where we start speaking few words, and when we go beyond the crossing and breaking the things, that's where the scolding starts. Hey, who asked you to touch that object? Who asked you to do this? Who asked you to get out of the house? Didn't I say sit here? Didn't I say go there? Why can't you eat alone? Why are you just every time waiting for mom to come and feed you? Why mom has to run behind you? Can't you do that? That's the next stage of the childhood. The third one is the kids. Now kid is ready to go to school with a bag, water bottle, lunch box, everything. There, when you enter the school, the first day it will be like, don't cry my son, my child, we'll give whatever. If you go happy to the school and come back, whatever you ask, we'll give you that. If you want chocolate, ice cream, whatever it is. Okay, second day, fine, 1 week it will go like that. The next week it will start. If you don't go to school without crying, I'll not take you home. You have to go to school without crying, then only I'll take you home. Otherwise you stay in the school itself. Then again after 1 month pass like that, then the PTM starts. That's parents teachers meeting. When you go to the school, the teacher will start. Ma'am, your son is so talkative. Ma'am, your daughter is always smiling. She doesn't listen to us. She is always sharpening the pencil. She is taking lip balm. She is applying it. Your son is gone and scolded somebody. Your son is doing that. All this will come up. No, that is what I have experienced with my kids. Most of you all see what my kids are. They want to trick. So, usually what parents used to do, they will be like, hey, why are you doing that? I was like, it's okay, that's how you enjoy the childhood. Getting scoldings from teachers, getting scoldings from parents, getting scoldings from friends, everybody. But that's where you build even friendship also. That school friendship, whatever you stay, go till 10th, it will stay for lifelong, not for intern, neither for degree. But childhood memories will stay till you die. Okay. The third stage is the childhood. That's there where you go beyond the kids. That is after you go for first standard. From first standard to fifth standard is called child. So there even more homeworks, classworks. Ma'am, your son didn't complete the notes. Ma'am, your son has done that. Ma'am, your daughter didn't do this. Her handwriting is not proper. She'll write slowly. She'll always sit alone. That's what the complaint starts. Again, now the pressure on the parents will start beginning. Why is she behaving like that? Am I doing something wrong? Or are they doing something wrong? Or teachers is wrong? Which school is best for our kid? Which school is not good for our kid? What are they? Now the third stage is, the second season of the life is the teenage stage. Here where we enter to college or the high school from 8th standard till 10th standard, and from 11th standard till we end up degrees. That is the teenage. Here it is like this season of life I compare to winter. Why I compare this season to winter is something chilling. If we wear sweater, then everything is fine. If we take out the sweater, then we feel cold. The same way when you are in a teenage, if you choose to do whatever correct path, you are going in a right path. If ever by mistake you step out of the track, then your life is gone. That is the very crucial stage of every child, whether you are in a right track or a wrong track. Apart from doing all the experiments like Gaurav told, I have done toes, basketball, I went for skating, that is fine. But today's social media is so vast, and like how we are in our teenage times, we didn't have mobiles, we didn't have technologies, we don't know anything apart from whatever our parents shows us. But these days kids are highly mature, highly exposed to many more bad things. So better that as a parents we should be careful to see what they are doing, where they are going. Now the third season of our life is adulthood. Now this stage, I want to compare it to the summer. This is where job searching will start and hard-earned money. Now again the marriage comes in, then the child, school fees, all the responsibilities are sweat. It is like, it will drain us out. Like how the summer drains us out. But here also again in summer we get a tasty fruit, that is a mango, where it gives the sweetness. Now again the friends comes in as a stress busters. Like when we go out with the friends, we feel very much relaxed apart from the family. Kids always with where what they are doing, what is he doing, what should I prepare at home. So this stress will not be there. Now the last stage of the season, last season in the life is the old age. Here again the cycle repeats. Now our dependency starts becoming more and more on the fruits whatever we have born from all the seasons. Like our fruits are nothing but our kids. So we start depending on them. We want them to be there with us. We want them to speak to us. And then they'll be addicted to the mobiles, TVs, friends, everything. But we want them to sit with us. And for each and everything, we'll be like, I go get this medicine, I can't go get this from this shop, I can't do it. And the real problem these days is Alzheimer's, that is the dementia. So most of the people are facing this problem, I can see, and diabetes is there, sugar is there. So the moment Alzheimer's, this diabetes and sugar is manageable, but Alzheimer's is not, because every moment, everything they forget. It is like you have to be like a backbone to them, behind them to take what, in case if they take more dose of the tablets, then it's gone. So you have to sit and take it. That's how, then like here the seasons of climate, how it comes every year, but in life the seasons will not come every year. It comes for once in a lifetime. So let us cherish our seasons of life and let us bear good fruits. Thank you. That's how I end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta, for taking us back a little in time to different stages I'm sure that all of us went through. Before I introduce the next speaker, I request the evaluator Toastmaster Sanjana to read out the guidelines of the project.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, and also my target speaker, Toastmaster Raja. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. And the notes for the evaluator are: the member completing this project is working to write a speech with purpose. The speech they may create must be well written and clearly focused. Their goal is to meet the expressed purpose statement with a well-executed speech. So about the speech, the member will present a well-organized, well-delivered speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech content and style should work well together. I wish the speaker all the very best, and back to you, Master Excel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. Our second speaker enjoys science fiction and fantasy movies. He is a voracious reader and he is currently reading Break Your Chakra View. Such an intriguing title, makes me want to read it. He believes that habits are more important than goals. He is a construction technologist currently working in a Bangalore firm to deliver his speech titled Power of Stories. Please make some loud noise for Toastmaster Raja.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. In 1990s, the country Portugal had a drug crisis. Almost 1% of the population was impacted by the drugs. Every family had a member whose life was going down because of these drugs. The country Portugal was desperately looking for a solution. They announced severe penalties and punishments, but nothing was working out. So they were looking for solutions from different experts. That is when Dr. Golo and his team of specialists came with a radical solution. And they recommended that to the government, and Portugal was the first country to legalize the drugs. And when they did that, the other countries were laughing at them. They said, what kind of policy is this? If you legalize the drugs, there's going to be more and more users in the country. However, the policy is that if somebody is caught with drug, it may be heroin, cocaine, whatever it is, instead of taking them to the jail, they would be taken to the rehabilitation center. So instead of treating them as criminals, they are being treated in a more human way. So more and more people started coming out and joining those rehabilitation centers. And after 10 years, there is a steady decline in the usage of the drugs. And after 15 years, the death per million for country Portugal is very low compared to that of other countries like US or UK. So the question is, how did Dr. Golo and his team of specialists able to come up with such a unique solution with so much confidence? That is because they went and spoke to those users who are addicted. That is when they understood, they listened to their stories. That is when they understood they are also people and they also wanted help. So instead of going the other route of criminalizing and giving more punishments, they made it in such a way that they were able to come out and join the rehabilitation centers. And that is the power of stories. In today's world, we all are addicted to a drug. And that drug is social media. There are brilliant minds in the world currently working to hook our brains, to manipulate our emotions, to make us happy or sad, depending on the post, depending on the like, depending on the comment, depending on the share. But if there is one tool that can unclutter your mind, connect with your purpose, connect with your root values, that is storytelling. There is a Native American proverb which says, the one who tells the stories will rule the world. I say, the one who tells the stories will rule himself or herself first. This may sound odd, but let me explain. I want you all to do an exercise when you go home today or tomorrow, whenever you get time. Reflect on the past 3 challenges that you have faced. Write it down. Write it down, what is that you faced, how you overcame that, and what are the lessons you learned from that. Start narrating it a couple of times. When you do that, you will start owning those stories. When you own those stories, the next time you face a challenge, your mind automatically knows that you are going to solve it based on the past 3 experiences. So instead of you going into a fear and anxious state, you get into a highly responsive state. Or else I should say, if you are faced with a challenge, instead of going into a flight mode, you go to the fight mode. Thank you, and back to you, Toast.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja, for inspiring us with that wonderful narrative. Before I introduce the next speaker, I request the evaluator DTM Udanka to read out the guidelines of the project.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and to my target speaker. The purpose of the statement is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions on mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of previous speech experience as a prodigy. Notes to the evaluator, that's me. The member completing this project is developing an understanding of Toastmaster mentoring about the speech. The speech is about a time when this member was a prodigy. It may be from any time of his or her life. The member may discuss any aspect of the prodigy experience. The speech should not be a report on content of the introduction to Toastmaster mentoring project. With that, all the best to the speaker, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Udanka. Our last speaker for today is anything but the least. He's a fun-loving person, loves interacting with people. He loves reading and learning anything about the world of investment and finance. Always makes sure that he keeps himself abreast with the latest happenings in the world of finance. All this in addition to being a runner and a soccer player. To deliver his speech titled Stories to Remember, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Sai Ganesh.
It takes a special person to be accepting of our opinions without any judgment. It takes a special person to help us harness the potential hidden within us, and it takes a special person to be a mentor. Good evening, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. I was very lucky to have met a mentor quite early in my life. So let me take you back in time to when I was in the 5th standard. I studied in a residential school in Andhra Pradesh. I was an all games or all play and hate books kind of a kid. Our school had a library session every week as part of our curriculum. But that session for me was my extended games period. I would disturb the entire session and get irritated just with the thought of having to hold a book and read it. The restlessness would soon translate into irritation, and I would be taken to task by my teachers. Over the course of time, the complaints didn't just add up, but they multiplied. While I was having a gala time disturbing the session, my teachers were keenly making a note of my behavior. They realized that they had to act immediately before things got out of their hands. And so it was, one fine morning, they enrolled me into a program which was called the Buddy Reading Program. This was started by a few teachers who wanted to inculcate an early reading habit amongst kids. Thus, a student of the immediately next grade would meet with the participant every evening after school hours in order to read a book of the participant's choice. I was initially averse to this entire idea or concept, but when I heard that Sanjana Kumar was going to be my reader, I immediately rushed into the library and picked up the 2 biggest books that I could find. Yes, as you guys might have guessed, she was the smartest girl in her class, and she was the most beautiful girl that I'd ever seen in my life. While for her, this process seemed like a duty, for me it was a date. In the first few weeks, she would sit beside me and read the entire story to me. At the end of every reading session, she would ask me to narrate the entire story in my own words. I had an innate or inherent difficulty of structuring sentences without grammatical errors in English. Further, she would make sure to ask me questions at random from the story. If I was not able to answer, she would ask me to refer back and refer to the story and get back to her. This exercise might have seemed trivial back then, but it did have a huge impact in my professional career as well. Initially, I did make a lot of silly mistakes, but each time she took the opportunity to correct me rather than ridicule me. This was a major comforting factor for me. I soon began to appreciate the brain behind the beauty. A few months later, during an impromptu session at our school assembly, I was called upon stage and asked to speak on a particular topic. I was trembling with fear, but somehow mustered up the courage to go on stage. I started my speech, and somewhere in between, I realized that I'd completely shed my apprehension towards speaking in English. I was able to articulate whatever was there in my mind. This gave me a strange sense of happiness that I'd never experienced before. It's been much more than a decade since this incident took place, and I've read numerous books and articles since then. Today I have people come up to me and appreciate me for my vocabulary. In all honesty, the credit doesn't go to me, but it goes to that one person who ignited that spark, which only shines bright even to this day. Now that I look back, I realized the kind of impact that it has had, that a systematic and process-driven approach has had in my life. It takes a great person to see beyond one's own individual capacity, and I'm glad to have met that person very early in my life. If not for her, I wouldn't be the person standing here in front of you. So Sanjana, if you're listening, here's a message to you. Thank you for helping me realize who I am. Thank you for being you. Thanks for being a buddy. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Ganesh, for that insight, and we wish you all the best in your journey. As far as public speaking goes, I think our speakers have amply demonstrated that one definite way to harness the fight-flight response is preparation. As we've just seen, with thorough preparation, one can train oneself to speak in public with ease and confidence. But what if we don't have enough time to prepare? The impromptu speaking, when one is called upon, can trigger stress and nervousness in most of us, right? Because there is no time to prepare, one, and the second is the pressure to perform on the spot. Now, this increase of stress also leads to physical symptoms sometimes, like sweating, nervousness, sometimes a brain freeze, you can't think and nothing comes out of your mouth. All these things happen. Now, what we need to understand is, in order to combat the fight or flight negative responses, there are suggested techniques. There is mindfulness, being aware, there is deep breathing, there is positive visualization. These techniques are suggested as to which in order to help you improve your public speaking ability. Now, let me give you a small example of something that you can try. Next time you are in a situation where you are called upon, try this as a calming method. You have to take 6 long breaths. The breath has to come from the pit of your stomach. So take 6 long breaths, and as you take the breath, each breath, look around you and look for 6 different colors. And as you take each breath, look for 6 different colors. You can do this for 1 or 2 cycles, and you will see that it has a calming effect on you. Once your mind is calm, you can think better. And additionally, reading regularly, and also including your personal anecdotes, including a little bit of humor, can also help ease the stress of impromptu speaking. But enough said, right? Let's see this process in action. In this section, we learn from each other and gain insights from how to harness the power of fight and flight to become better communicators. It's time for the table topics session. It's our lucky day. We have a very able Toastmaster as our table topics master today. She is the current A2 Area Director of District 121, currently working as a growth marketing analyst at Kalagato. She is an MBA graduate from BMS College of Engineering and Management. She loves to read or catch a few winks during her free time. With a huge round of applause, let's welcome the table topics master of the day, Toastmaster Sindhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for such a beautiful introduction. Everybody spoke about how they want to either fight their fears or how they flee at the sight of a cockroach like our Toastmaster Gaurav. But there is a situation where you fight and run away from the situation simultaneously. Can anybody in the room tell me what is that one situation where you do both?
Talking to spouse?
One, I did not have that in mind, but I'll definitely consider that. And second, this question is more redirected towards all the youngsters in the club who go to college on a day in and day out basis. Anybody? Ragni, Sharani, Prasad.
I've graduated.
Okay, that's okay. Probably everyone in the club has 100% attendance, I guess. Every time you wanted to bunk a class, every time you wanted to run away from your lecturers, there was a situation where you would fight with the entire class to make that one mass bunk happen, and also at the sight of your lecturer run away. And that is a situation where both the things happen. And there's also a situation where you do none of this and just stand and freeze. Can anybody tell when is that situation?
When we see a crush.
When you see a crush. Did not expect that, but thank you. When teacher scolds, makes sense. Anybody else? Veerabhadra Pasa. Have you frozen any time? For me, that usually happens when I see dogs. There was a situation when I wanted to fight the fear of dogs, and I decided for myself, I'll wake up every day in the morning and I'll take a walk. And it doesn't matter how many ever dogs are barking at me. And I made this decision and I woke up very consistently on everyday basis. I would come out of the door, open the gate and go. As soon as I take my very first step, the first dog in my road starts barking. And at the exact same time, the next dog somewhere in the parallel street somewhere starts barking too. And I think, okay, that's okay, cool, I can still walk, not a big issue. I'm very confident, I'm not scared of dogs. I tell this to myself 101 times. And I repeat all the mantras my friends told me, this is just your hallucination. You're just thinking this for yourself. There is nothing called as fear of dogs. I think all this and I walk again. I walk for around like 100 meters or 10 meters or so. And suddenly I find myself surrounded by 10-12 dogs. Morning 5:30 a.m. There's nobody in the road, and even if I want to call, nobody is awake. And at the exact same time, all the 12 dogs are barking around me, and I'm just standing and staring. I don't know what to do. If I run, there will be 12 dogs will be chasing me, and I cannot do anything else. And I was then thinking, how do I fight the fear of dogs? Not possible. And then I finally turned to my right and see some uncle walking. And for my benefit, he chased the dogs away. And successfully, I have not overcome the dog of fears. And I'm very glad that it's okay. So as a table topic master for the day, I would like to tell you all to fight the fear of your public speaking and fly high by volunteering for the table topic. Very sad, okay. Okay, as a table topic master, I present you topics, and it is mandatory for you to speak for at least a minimum of 1 minute or a maximum of 2 minutes. And a green card will be shown when you reach 1 minute, and a yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and 2 minutes you will be shown a red card. And I request everyone in the club to volunteer for the table topic, and I tell you, I guarantee you, it's very, very, very simple. And the very first table topic is the best view comes after a hardest climb. The best view comes after a hardest climb. Do we have any volunteers?
Yeah.
Please, sir.
Thank you, table topic masters, fellow members and guests. Okay, actually, I've been kind of, this topic reminds me of my many treks I've done. So I've kind of done some of the toughest one in Karnataka, like what we call Kumara Parvata, Kodachadri, Meruti, and many actually. But one thing is I found very beautiful is this Kudremukh trek actually. So the thing is, maybe it took almost close to 4 hours to reach the summit, but the sheer beauty and the nature was really, I was totally blown away. It is so beautiful. In fact, for a moment, if you reach the summit, I think it was looking as if we are in some Scotland or so. It was so beautiful actually. And I can't miss, I still cherish those pics that I have taken there. And of course, the peak of the thirst and hunger was way high actually. And after we kind of took some rest and just descended, that is one trek, it's truly beautiful. I suggest everyone to try it out. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prashant. So let's proceed forward, and for the next topic, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Shiva Prasad on the stage, and the topic is the fears we don't face become our limit. The fears we don't face become our limits. Over to you, Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and guests. The MC was talking, Table Topic Master was talking about the fear of dogs, right? And I had a massive fear of dogs growing up as a child. I remember I used to go walking on some street, and if there was a dog at that end, I would change the lane, go to the other street, parallel road, and cross over to the other side. And there was one incident where I was once carrying a football in my hand, right? And for some reason, this particular dog was attracted to that football, or I don't know, attracted to me, like it is to you. And it started jumping around me, right? And I didn't know what to do. At some point, I threw away the football. The dog didn't go for the football. The dog was still there. And at that point, I remembered the only advice that you get when you are faced by dogs, and that is to stay there, stand still, and just face your fear. So I fought my flight or fight response, and I stood there facing that dog. And for some reason, the dog calmed down, right? And it didn't act as aggressive. I was able to proceed. There was another incident. I was at a friend's house, and this guy, fan of dogs, just like our president, and he brings his massive golden retriever in front of me. He says, "He'll not do anything, and that thing is barking, right? Barking, and it's jumping, and I'm trying to cross, and it's not allowing me to pass, right? But somehow I had to manage that day. Golden retriever, it's 2-3 puppies. That day will never go away from my mind, right? But today, if I can confidently say that if I see a dog in front of me on the street, I don't panic. Right? I stand there, I just walk past, or if it starts looking at me, I start looking at it. What will you do, right? And somehow I've been able to face that fear. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiv Prasad. That was a great takeaway from me, completely against what people keep telling me. It's okay, it's all your hallucination. But thank you, it's very true. And let's proceed forward for the next topic. The next topic is never stop doing things for the first time. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Jyoti on the stage for this topic. Never stop doing things for the first time, Toastmaster Jyoti. Toastmaster Jyoti, never stop doing things.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Never stop doing things for the first time. I think most of the things that I do, I feel it is for the first time. I think each time that I come over here at the back of the lectern, it is the first time for that day, for that week. I think it's also I am not a very mathematical person. When someone, particularly in the office, when they tell me to give any report which has numbers, I get scared. And I understand it is, okay, I could say that the first time, when I joined my office, very new, we had a meeting from all the head of the department, and we were told by our senior, to match the Excel sheet to do it. He said, if we all do VLOOKUP, we can match the Excel sheet. And I was looking up and I'm thinking, how can we look up and then the Excel sheet matches? So it was very difficult. And then with the IT department people, they came and said, we'll have to arrange for the firewalls. How does firing a wall help you to keep your IT thing secured? So my journey started there, and then with my curiosity, well, I have taken a lot forward in the Excels. Maybe some other time I will talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jyoti. I must say that we got a certified Microsoft certified thing from Excel for during our MBA, and I must say I did not even know how to add cells when I joined the company. Very sad, but true. What do you say? Life lessons of doing, getting graduated and all that. So let's proceed forward, and the next topic goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, and the topic is to become spring means accepting the risk of winter. To become spring means accepting the risk of winter. And over to you, Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Today in Toastmasters, welcome guests. One has to accept the risk. Without accepting the risk, there is no jumping, there is no spring also. Why I say so? In many other situations, between flight and the fight, we are stuck. Did we search for the answer? Yes. Yet, answer is not coming through. Why this happens? Did any one of us introspect within ourselves why it is happening? Can anyone tell me why this such situation we all get into? Because of lack of proper maturity. One notch higher maturity gives the ability to get the answer. That's where we don't work on. The maturity with which we raise a question, with the same maturity, we don't get the answer at all. We have to have the higher maturity. Unless we have the higher maturity, where is the question of springing? Where is the question of getting the answer? It is always better, improve your maturity. Maturity comes only when you get the right type of experience. So, with experience, maturity enhances, thereby you get into the action of springing so that you win in the life. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. The next topic goes to Toastmaster Sanjana, and the topic is don't give up on your dreams, keep sleeping. Don't give up on your dreams, keep sleeping, Toastmaster Sanjana.
A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. And thank you for such an awakening table topic. Do not give up on your speech. Sleep. Do not give up on your dreams. Keep sleeping. That was like a wake-up call for me. Maybe in a very sugar-toned, sugar-coated, sarcastic way. So for the longest time, I've always dreamt, oh, I have to do this. Maybe next I'll have to hustle for this, and I should just, like literally give up on my sleep and break some sweat to, like hustle and work on my dreams. But that has not been happening off late. So I would want to say that as APJ Abdul Kalam said, dreams are the ones that keep you awake. So contrary to whatever she said, I should take it positively, and I would reiterate, and I would insist on all of you taking it positively, saying that dreams are the ones that should keep you awake and not the other way around. And back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmasters Anjana, for such a very honest response. The next table topic is, when I say I won't tell anyone, my best friend does not count. When I say I won't tell anyone, my best friend does not count. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Pavni on the stage for this particular topic. The topic is, when I say I won't tell anyone, my best friend does not count.
Very happy evening, everyone, and thank you for the topic, table topic master, Toastmaster Sindhu. Of course, we don't keep secrets with our best friends, right? Like, we definitely tell it to them at least. So, in school days, it was always that I had only few friends, and I always used to tell everything only to them. But when it comes to the top secret, we tell it to the closest friend, right? So the top secret will be shared only with our close friends. Yeah, and that's my take on the topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavni. I must say, every time somebody comes and tells me, this is a very top secret, you cannot tell anybody, somehow the entire class would know, because of course you go tell your friends, they tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and somehow everybody knows, but except nobody accepts that they know. So let's go forward with the next topic. The next topic is, sometimes you try your hardest, but things don't work out the way you want them to. Sometimes you try your hardest, but the things don't work out the way you want them to. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Veera Bhadrappa on the stage with this topic.
The topic given to me is, I work hard, but sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it. I am against to this one. I always work so that I can achieve it. There is nothing like a fight or a flight. I only fight. Say, there is a saying, with due apology to the sister sitting here, woman doesn't like a person who has a characteristics of fight, flight, fake, and fold. So really, I don't have such fight. I always say I am a fighter. If anything comes beyond this one, I devise a method to overcome that one. I would like to say once again, the way in which you look into a problem is a problem. The way in which you look into a problem is a problem. If you think it is a problem, it is a problem. When you think it is not a problem, it is not a problem. In order to solve the problem, you have to think in a different way. Since you are not thinking in a different way, it has become a problem. So where is the question of not finding a solution? I came across one severe, deadliest problem in my life. What I did, when I don't know, I thought over. I read books. I couldn't get a solution. I enrolled myself to the Diploma in Counseling Skills. There also I couldn't get. I went to the Bangalore University Psychology Department. There also I couldn't get a solution. What I did, I changed myself. Instead of expecting a change from the counterpart, I changed myself. I have no problem. I have no problem at all. If she starts speaking, let her speak. I sit in Sukhasana. Say that, my dear friends, when you cannot change other people, if you think it is hard, I can't change, and if you put your hand on your head and keep on thinking and spoil your head. You will get blood pressure. So please, my dear friends, there is nothing like that. For every problem there is a Every problem there is a solution. Correct. Live happily and die majestically.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veerasasrappa. Let's go forward for the next topic. The next topic is failure is not opposite of success, but part of success. The next topic is failure is not opposite of success, but part of success. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Arun Das on the stage for this particular topic.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome guests. Thank you, Table Topic Master, for the topic. Now, I just changed my Instagram ID to win, learn, grow. I'm not sure, the topic is also coincidence here. I always believe there is no failure. It's always a learning. You attempt something, you win it, or you learn it. There is never a failure. You never fail. So you learn something. So next time you don't fail, you know how to achieve that, right? So when you go through this journey, the advantage you grow. When you go through attempting things. So you have something very, very complex. You feel this is something which I've never done. I cannot do it. Never think that never step turn back. Always attempt it. Most of the time, for me, fortunately, most of the time I could actually win. Rarely, sometimes we learn, and this learning has always helped me later. Thank you. That's me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arun Das. And the next topic is keep going, everything you need will come to you at the right time. Keep going, everything you need will come to you at the right time. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Hrithik on the stage for this. Keep going, everything you need will come to you at the right time. Welcome, keep going, everything you need will come to you at the right time.
So, good evening to one and all. So, we should always keep going in life, no matter whatever the failures we face. It's failure is a part of our life, but then not giving up and always showing up is something which we need to do. Can you please repeat the topic?
Keep going, everything you need will come to you at the right time.
Yeah, so no matter how many times you're not able to achieve what you want to, you just need to keep going. At one day at least, one day or the other day, it will come to you. I can give my own example. So I was not so great at playing football, but then I used to always go practice, and as soon as the time passed and I kept on increasing, kept on hitting the gym and getting myself more fit and start playing more games, playing with the state level players, I improved upon myself. So as the topic, so you need to keep going and it'll all come. If not early, at some point it will come. Thank you.
And the final topic for the day, that is venture outside your comfort zone. The rewards are totally worth it. Venture outside your comfort zone. The rewards are totally worth it. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Sai Priya on the stage for this particular topic.
A very good evening, dear Toastmasters. So, according to the topic, this has happened right here. I ventured out of the house with the confidence that I'll do very well in Toastmasters because I love public speaking and that is my strength. And I came here, I spoke, I won certificates of participation. It's all starting with that level as a beginner, and to go ahead I will get more such certificates and really excel in my public speaking skills, leadership skills and presentation skills, which is what I've come here for. And after coming here, I've got so many friends, I've got such nice experiences, and I have got a world full of a bunch of, I can't just explain, literally a plethora of wisdom which I've earned here through many people, and insights on life, and a deeper meaning to life, and also on various topics on motivation. And something which I really was wishing right from school days, that for my birthday I should get a silk chocolate from my friend. And here I got it from Sanjana Prabhanjan, which is a memorable event for me. Because in school I actually wish I should get it from a friend, but rather I got it from a sports teacher of mine for my birthday. Since he was also my favorite teacher, because he used to really keep us all active and going, not sitting even for a minute on the bench. For taking rest 1 or 2 minutes fine, but not for 5 minutes at a stretch, and encouraging us a lot to play games. I wasn't one of them, my classmates were, because they were mostly spending maximum time talking in groups and not playing. I was on the opposite side. I used to play the whole games period blissfully with my friends. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sai Priya. Thank you for all the everyone who attended the table topic successfully, and thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundari, for so ably conducting that fun session. We will now have a 10 minutes networking break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a nice hot cup of tea. We all talked about preparation and mind management as tools to be used to guide in our fight or flight response when we are faced with challenging situations. These techniques are all fine and excellent and work well. There is one more tool in the bag. It's called feedback. Getting constructive feedback from others plays a very important role in improving oneself. So it is now time for our feedback session with the general evaluation. Our general evaluator today is a veteran Toastmaster. He has held a multitude of roles here at Toastmasters, including acting SAA, EPPR, VPM, VPE, and President. He's been a club coach of the BMS Legion Toastmaster Club and has conducted a webinar on how to conduct hybrid meetings. He has also conducted a speech craft at Samasta Finance. An avid cyclist, he was also part of the Go Green, Go Cycling initiative to promote cycling all over Bangalore. In addition, he's an enthusiastic biker who has biked all over South India. An MCOM graduate who's currently pursuing his CA. He has a keen interest in technology as it applies to our day-to-day life. Please put your hands together to welcome the general evaluator of today, Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Thank you, MC, for that detailed and comprehensive introduction. It's been a while that I've reread or reheard my entire story. Well, good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, I hope the snacks were sufficient because the sergeant clearly hasn't got sufficient today. The very purpose of general evaluation is for the general evaluator to provide feedback on the entire proceedings of the meeting and for the member to take away some learnings that they can improve and reflect upon. This not only helps the member but also the overall club health and growth. Every time I look at a recording that's been provided, I look at myself or anybody I want to look at and see what are the changes that they've made for themselves. Right from the time they joined, because I've been here for quite some time, right from the time they've joined until today, I've been fortunate enough that a particular member has scaled high. That gives me immense pleasure to see how they've really scaled up. That's because the feedback that they took honestly and sincerely and worked upon it. And I'll try my very best to give the same feedback that will help you grow and learn. Let's start off with the meeting, and the meeting started today at 6:23 p.m. by the president of the business session. We had 2 points in the business session. One, we have the club contest on 20th of February. Also, there's been an announcement that there's only one member who's registered for the club contest. I request members to take up part in the club contest because an experience of this kind is never to be seen again until next year. When you take part in contest, you learn something which you don't normally do. You learn to compete because here you do not have an evaluator to give you evaluation. All the evaluation starts before you give the speech, and you working on it and presenting will be the ultimate goal. If you still haven't given your name and you're eligible for this ISC, I would humbly request you to kindly give your name to the VPE. Next, we had the VP role update by Toastmaster Sanjana. And going forward, we had the Sergeant at Arms take and meeting started by 6:25 p.m. I've been seeing Sharanya from day one, and I've been attending every meeting so far. Initially, when she was behind the lectern, her voice was always a high pitch and it was flat. Recently, she gave a speech on voice modulation. Ever since then, and the feedback that she's received from then, she's really learned the way of voice modulation and the art how to do it. And today, she's done a brilliant, great job to it. Another thing I want to appreciate is the way she brought about the modes of fight and flight and brought it to the phones, silent mode, general mode, and she asked us to keep it all in silent. It's a small thing, but it was a really great connector. For the job well done, can we have a huge round of applause for the Sergeant at Arms? Alright, let's get started with the evaluation sessions. We had 3 speakers for today, 3 wonderful speakers for today. We had the speaker 1, Toastmaster Mamata, with a speech titled Seasons of Life, and the evaluator by Toastmaster Prashant. Toastmaster Prashant, can we please have your evaluation?
Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and Toastmaster Mamta in particular. Toastmaster Mamta, I think you started your speech with questioning. So I felt that every speaker was involved in kind of, you had everyone's attention. Okay, so that was a very brilliant way to start the speech actually. And secondly, you had a great stage presence. I noticed that you were kind of using your hands and also your eye contact towards most of the entire area of the room, like with most of the audience actually. So that is really good. And third thing is for a moment I went back to my school days. I'm sure everyone of you had that moment where you took them to their school days actually. So that was quite interactive. And one bold thing I feel is I think this is your second speech and you have involved humor into it. So that's a very, very bold step that you have taken. Okay, now coming to, things that you may want to work on. If I may suggest, I felt the beginning of the speech started probably it could have been at a high energy level, maybe little vocal variety, could have helped in bringing that great beginning actually. And second thing is I felt the conclusion was little abrupt actually. Probably it could have made a closing statement that could have helped. Yeah, that's about it. And then to challenge yourself, since that you are in the initial stage of your speeches, I'm sure you can continue to kind of add humor into your speeches, and personally I like it, and I wish you all the best for your future speeches. Yeah. Over to General.
Thank you for the evaluation, Toastmaster Prashant. Toastmaster Prashant, your evaluation style is something I really like, because from the time I've been seeing you evaluate speeches of late for the past 2 or 3 weeks, you evaluate the speaker for the members and not just for the speaker. that goes to show that the feedback that's given by you can also be used by others and incorporated. And one key takeaway from Toastmaster Mamata's speech is that I really liked is adulthood is like summer. It's short-lived, sweaty, and draining. That's one thing I really liked about the entire speech. For the job well done by the speaker and evaluator, can we have a huge round of applause, please? We had the speaker to Toastmaster Raja and the evaluator Toastmaster Sanjana Prabhajan. Please have your evaluation. Round of applause.
A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters, our dear guest, and also in addition to the target speaker, Toastmaster Raja. Power of stories. Humans think in stories rather than in facts, numbers, or equation. Simpler the story, the better. This is said by the very popular and the cult favorite author Yuval Noah Harari. The project purpose said that to review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose, and the speech may be informational or humorous. Here your style was informational and also at the same time interesting, as you started with a loud opening, Portugal and drugs. What a way to capture the audience attention, because most of the years became very alert with Portugal and drugs. So there was a plethora of areas where you hit the bullseye, and there were like few other sectors where you went offbeat. So I would like to be mentioning those areas. So coming to the places where you hit the bullseye, gestures, engaging the audience, as it was a generic topic and the audience was able to understand it properly, and the speech purpose was met as the speech was well constructed, because needless to say that you are a construction technologist. Your attire was apt for the meeting as it was professional. And you also went on an extra mile, giving the audience a homework to do, to think upon the challenge and reflect upon the same. Places where you went a little offbeat, they were like very few, but however, if I have to name them, when you posed a question, you did not allow the audience to answer. Plus the time allotted for your speech was 5 to 7 minutes. But you wound up the speech within 4 minutes. Maybe you could have extended, as you were really interesting and kept the audience hooked. None of them were thinking like, oh God, when is he going to finish his speech? So you could have extended a little bit more. Nevertheless, you aced it by providing a food for thought, like a million brains in the world to hook our minds and manipulate us and keep us happy and sad. But if there is one tool that can unclutter and connect you with the purpose and root values, and that is storytelling. It would be unfair if I do not mention your the way you ended your speech with connecting it to the theme. So all in all, it was a very nice speech. Good luck and all the best to your future speeches. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana Prabhajan, for that wonderful, typical textbook style evaluation. Her evaluation focused on every aspect of the speaker's speech, right from the word he started until the end. She had everything in place, what you could work upon, or what you excelled at, or what you could change for the next speech. These are the types of feedback that help a speaker really gain momentum on their next speech and help improve themselves. A job really well done to the speaker and the evaluator. Can we have a huge round of applause for that? Next up, we have the third speaker, Toastmaster Sai Ganesh, and the evaluator Toastmaster DTM Udanka. Can we have your evaluation?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Sai Ganesh in particular. the spark which was ignited by your friend really shine bright today, and we all witnessed how very well Sai Ganesh shown it in his speech, right? So here are a couple of points where I would like to evaluate you. One, the points where you really excelled at, the points where you can improve upon, and the points where you have to really challenge yourself. So starting off with the good points, voice modulation. You started off with a bang, you started off with a high note, and when it came to tell about a mentor, you had a lower pace, which was really required when you were introducing that particular aspect to the audience. And even when you showed your excitement in your speech when you told that the partner, your buddy partner, was one of your crush or the person you were looking for. So the excitement what you had that day was same as how you had today. So the excitement what you had was really good. And every time whenever we are delivering a speech, it says when you have an opening and a conclusion, your speech is all set, and you had a perfect opening and a perfect conclusion for your speech. Now coming to your body of the speech, that's why I felt that it was little elaborated. This particular project wanted two aspects. One, explain your experience as a prodigy and envision how Toastmaster envisions on mentoring. So the very first part you did very well, you excelled at it, and the second part even you did not touch it about it. So how the speech was designed in such a way that you explain the story of how the mentoring part came into your life, or the mentoring aspect was introduced in your life, and that covered the majority of your speech. And you did not, that was not effective, that the purpose of the speech, that how mentoring helped you to have a bright future, did not come up that well. That's one thing you can look into. And second, as I told, it was an elaborated story. You missed on the second part of the purpose. So if you could cut down a little on the introduction of the story and explain more about the main aspect of why mentoring would help you, or how did that particular person help you in growing up, then just highlighting it in a smaller note. If you could highlight it in a bigger note, it would be really good. Now coming to the point where I can challenge yourself for the next speeches is just not from this particular speech observation. I've observed you in last year evaluation also. So what happened when you're delivering the speech, 90% of your focus was to this part of your audience, and you lost the touch of this particular audience, which had a loss of connection with the audience. And I could see many members, and even Vijay Upinda sitting right here had lost interest in your speech, and he was looking here and there. Nothing offensive to you, sir. So he sitting right next to you could not connect well with your speech. So that's where few parts you lost your audience interest also. So these were the points where I could reel you. So I just went a little ahead because I know how very well you are, how seasoned Toastmaster you are with that. All the best for your upcoming speeches, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for the evaluation, DTM Udanka. The reason why we ask, the general evaluator asks if you have received, especially to the evaluators, if you have received the project guidelines and the evaluation form in advance, is because you, as an evaluator, should know what exactly the speaker is trying to speak on. The purpose behind the speech, the goals, the aim, or anything in particular, whatever the project requirements are, it's for the evaluator to understand what the exact requirements are. This will help the evaluator to focus on those key aspects and provide feedback. And that is what exactly DTM Udanka did, because he's gone through the evaluation form and he really knows that there's been a purpose missing from the project that's required. Not just to DTM Udanka, but I request every person, every member who's going to take up evaluation henceforth to try and get the resource well in advance, at least by a day, and have a glance through it. This will help you to understand what the project requirements are, what the project calls for. That will help you to understand the speech better and the speaker also better. Another general advice to all the evaluators is, when you are called here to read out the project guidelines, you're only called to read out the project guidelines. I've seen people try to say who the speaker or what the speech title is. This is because, why I'm saying this is because the suspense has to be held on till the MC calls upon the speaker. try to build up the suspense, and when the MC calls upon, we look forward to who the speaker is. Just a small piece of advice. I just want to ask Toastmaster Sanjana and Toastmaster Prashant if you have received the project guidelines in advance. Thank you for that. Yes, so for DTM Udanka and also Toastmaster Sai Ganesh, can we have a huge round of applause? Yes, moving on to the Tab G role takers. I request you to please come forward and give your report as and when I call upon you, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Pavni.
Once again, a very happy evening, everyone. Here is my report. The meeting started at 6:23 p.m. The business session went on for 1 minute 7 seconds. The Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sharani, took 2 minutes 9 seconds, but the time allotted was 2 minutes. The report of minutes of meeting by Toastmaster Pavni went on for 2 minutes 12 seconds, but the time allotted was 2 minutes. Presidential address was allotted 5 minutes and Toastmaster Gaurav has taken 4 minutes 15 seconds. Introduction to Toastmaster of the day was allotted 1 minute and was taken 25 seconds. Coming to the Master of Ceremonies, the initial part was allotted 10 minutes and Toastmaster Lakshmi has taken 6 minutes 15 seconds. Overall, MC has taken 12 minutes. In the prepared speech session, Speaker 1 Toastmaster Mamta has taken 7 minutes 50 seconds. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Raja has taken 3 minutes 47 seconds. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Sai Ganesh has taken 6 minutes 58 seconds. The table topic session went on for 25 minutes overall, but was allotted 20 minutes. We had 10 speakers in total, where 6 spoke about 1 minute and 4 spoke about 2 minutes. The individual report has been put upon the board. The networking break went on for 10 minutes. Lastly, the individual evaluators were allotted 3 minutes. Evaluator 1 Toastmaster Prashant has taken 2 minutes 32 seconds. Evaluator 2 Toastmaster Sanjana has taken 3 minutes 20 seconds. Evaluator 3 DTM Udanka has taken 3 minutes 27 seconds. The general evaluator has taken 4 minutes 35 seconds so far. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you for the detailed report, Toastmaster Pavni. Next up, can we have the account report by Toastmaster Saipriya?
A very good evening, dear Toastmasters. Here is the accountant report. Sergeant at Arms Sharanya, Toastmaster Sharanya gave 2 hours. The rest was not there. No ums, no repeated words, no pauses and no crutch words. Toastmaster of the day Lakshmi, Toastmaster Lakshmi, flawless. Timer Pavni CR, Toastmaster Pavni CR. I'm really sorry, I keep forgetting this T in the beginning only. Flawless. Our counter, that is me, Toastmaster Saipriya, flawless. Grammarian Hrithik, Toastmaster Hrithik, flawless. PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, flawless. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Mamata, 3 hours. Evaluator Toastmaster Prashant, 3 hours. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Raja, flawless. Evaluator Toastmaster Sanjana Prabhajan, flawless. Speaker 3 Sai Ganesh, 5 pauses. Evaluator Udanka, Toastmaster Udanka, flawless. Table topic master Toastmaster Sindhushri, 1 hour. The rest was not there. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Prashant, flawless. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Shiva Prasad, 1 hour. The rest was not there. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Jyoti, 9 times hour. 1 for the word for was repeated and 2 times pauses. Speaker 4 Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, flawless. Speaker 5 Toastmaster Sanjana Prabhanjan, 2 hours. Speaker 6 Toastmaster Pavni Sia, flawless. Speaker 7 Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, flawless. Speaker 8 Toastmaster Arundas, flawless. Speaker 9 Toastmaster Hrithik, 2 hours. Repeated words so. Speaker 10 Toastmaster Saipriya and repeated 2 times, and the general evaluator Toastmaster Sai Snehal flawless. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you for the very detailed report, Toastmaster Sai Priya. Next up, can we have the parliamentary procedure evaluation by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra?
Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. Overall meeting went on well. There's no mention of sex, religion or politics. Entry and exit were maintained during applause only. Back to you, G.
Thank you for the report, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Although we did not have any of the things that you have mentioned, but I could hear a little bit of chatter here and then. Maybe you could have also mentioned that because people would be really aware of that and make conscious efforts the next time. Next, can we have the debutant role taker, Toastmaster Ritik, giving us a grammarian report?
Good evening to one and all. So, since there are many people who didn't use the word plethora, I'll just take the names of who have used it. So, starting off with Toastmaster Sharanya, used it once. Toastmaster Lakshmi used it twice. Toastmaster Sai Priya used it once. Toastmaster Sanjana used it once during evaluation. So, talking about the good usages, Sharanya, it was a good start and good words used, and also Gaurav was a humorous speech, comparing it to his fear for insects was good speech overall. And Toastmaster Lakshmi using terms like adrenaline and cortisol and a lot of words which we don't generally use, so we got to know new words, and also glossophobia, that is fear of public speaking. And talking about Toastmaster Mamta, it was more optimistic and the good opinions about her personal life, which was seen in the speech. And Toastmaster Raja was a good speech overall. And the part which I liked was, instead of going to flight mode, you go to fight mode at the end of the speech. So that was one. And Toastmaster Sai used some good words like inculcate, articulate, process driven, and was a good humorous speech overall. And talking about Toastmaster Prashant, it was a good speech comparing his, this was a table topic, comparing his, the topic which was given to the trek, the results you get once the trek is done, was a good comparison and was a motivational speech. And talking about Toastmaster Shiva Prasad, was humorous and well spoken and fluent. And Toastmaster Jyoti had little pauses in between, and I guess that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you for the report, Toastmaster Ritik. The grammarian's responsibility or role lies in trying to find out the good usage and the not so good usage, as in what good usage of words that they have used and not so good usage, and that you can provide feedback. Since it's your first time taking up the role, there's no problem. You did a really good job. You made detailed, clear observation of everybody that's been behind the lectern, and you did fantastic. And we have a huge round of applause for Ritik. With this, I'll give you all 30 seconds to vote for the best performers of today. Are we done? Okay, moving on to the next session, that is a table topic session which was conducted by Toastmaster Sindhushri. Toastmaster Sindhushri, your topics for today's meeting were really apt, and the speakers you chose were also the perfect ones to give out the response for the same topic. You had about 10 speakers and you included a bit of role takers and the non-role takers in the meeting. It was a whole great session that you've done so far, but I do have a few points of suggestion or improvement that I would give you because you are a seasoned Toastmaster and you've been here for quite some time. So these are some feedbacks that I have for you that will help you understand or even improve upon the table topic session. When you were invited here, you gave out a long detailed explanation or a story, back-end story I would say, before you actually started off giving the topics and everything. Although the story and everything had a purpose driven to the session, but that is something I would advise you to cut it down very short, maybe to 2 lines or 3 lines at the most, because that session is for the members to speak. You have to get the entire session stitched together using your topics and not the story of your choice. Maybe that's something that you can avoid it. Next up, what I really liked the fact was you adapted to the situation really well. You first start by asking, can I have some volunteers? Then you realize this is not how it happens here. Then you start picking out people. This is a volunteer organization, but not a volunteer session. You have to invite people out here because there may be someone who is shy sitting like Toastmaster Gaurav who will never come up here. So it's for you to call them and ask them and present them a topic. It's basically trying to push them out of the comfort zone and put them in a spotlight situation for them to understand. Another point of suggestion that I have is some of your topics were quite long. Maybe like 6-7 words. It was hard for members to grasp and speak on it. It appeared that they were asking for the topics, what is the topic again and again. Try to keep the topics really short, maybe 4 or 5 max. And that will help the members to understand and not think what the topic is, but think about the topic. That will help them to give feedback, response to the topic. But apart from that, you had a really great session. You connected the entire topics and you had a nice small story to everything. A job really well done. And for the first time coming to Mekon and taking up a role, can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmasters? Yes. Now coming to fight or flight. We had 3 wonderful members speak about the theme. We had the Sergeant at Arms, the President, and the Master of Ceremonies. And all 3 of them said something different, something really unique. Small anecdotes from their life about the same fight or flight. Each story had something personal and something that they could really connect to the theme. This is something we really don't find it very often. People really don't tell their insecurities or fears like how Toastmaster Gaurav brought it out today. Coming to the Master of Ceremonies, ma'am, you behind the lectern is like a ball of energy. You move from you use the entire space, lectern space that's available to you, right from the right corner all the way to the left corner, to making sure the members sitting here and here aren't ignored. They're given enough focus and attention and also trying to include them in the speech that you're trying to present. You broke down your entire MC address into 3 parts. The first part you said about the way you presented, you were very cheerful and joyful, making it look like people actually want to see you and listen to you. That's one of the most important quality of a public speaker, trying to get the people's attention. There are multiple ways that a person can do so, but a smile can get people like nobody else, and that is what you did. Your smile got people really close and attached and want to listen to you. Next up, you had the wonderful deer and lion story. That was the second part, which was really nice. And the most beautiful part of the entire thing is how you connected this entire thing to the Toastmasters movement. I was sitting there and waiting. How is ma'am going to connect the entire thing to the Toastmasters movement? And you brought out the fear of public speaking and how we need to fight it. And that is why we are all here, fighting the same public fear. You had a really great session. You were amazing behind the lectern. You had really nice way of introducing every role taker, or even the session for that matter, trying to put out your own view on it. This is something not a lot of MCs do. They just introduce the next role taker or next session and let them do the job. But you took up the responsibility of introducing the role taker and the session. Putting your view was extraordinary job, well done. For that, can we have a huge round of applause for the Master of Ceremonies? Well, that comes to the end of my general evaluation today. It was a great meeting. We had really amazing speakers. We had 3 speakers. It's nice to see 3 speakers being consistently held, because for a long time we have been having 2 speakers and finally we are back to 3. One small piece of advice is, if you're taking up any role on that any particular meeting day, at least try to arrive by 6:10 so that we can get the meeting started by 6:15. Today we started the meeting around 6:23 p.m. It is not late, but sometimes when a particular session exceeds beyond time, it crosses around 8:20 or 8:30, and people who may want to leave home early may get discouraged to come for the next meeting. So I request any role taker to please be on time so that we start the meeting and leave on time as well. Apart from that, it was a great meeting and great role taker by everybody. Thank you, and back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, for that comprehensive and very useful, constructive evaluation. As we come to the end of this meeting, I hope that we all learned that the fight or flight response is a natural physiological response to stress and challenging situations that we face regularly. It can have a significant positive or a negative impact on how we perform. Understanding the causes or triggers of this response, as well as employing some techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, visualization, etc., it can help us manage and overcome the negative effects of the fight or flight syndrome. And with practice and persistence, we can also try to harness the power of this response and use it to our advantage, right? Because we know that fear is only temporary. Regret, however, lasts a very long time. So I'd like us all to remember these lines by Viktor Frankl before I leave here. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth. Thank you all, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you to all role takers. We'll be jumping off with the winners of today. So we'll be starting off with the tab G. The best tab G goes to Timer Toastmaster Power. Coming to the best role taker of MTG, it's almost close, so it goes to Toastmaster Lakshmi for times. The best table topic speaker, it goes to Toastmaster Shiva. The best evaluator goes to the VP Toastmaster Sanjay. The best speaker, it goes to Toastmaster Raja. Congratulations to all the winners and thank you role takers. I close meeting number 1198 and I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.